How much water does it take to overpower an umbrella? Today I've set up a series of 4 tests to gauge the strength of this umbrella. Starting with just a measly cup and ending with this thing, abusing the top of my head with an unending ocean of goopy goodness. All right, let's start off with a little cup of water. Easy. All right, that wasn't actually too bad. Now let's try a full cup of water. Like nothing was even there. Woo! All right, now this one I'm actually kind of worried for. Let's try the bucket out. Come on, baby! Oh, no! Whoa! I said that I was gonna do 4 tests. We gotta see it through. 3, 2, 1! Kelly, what is the most backwards blade we have in the whole house?
What? How is he doing that? Ooh, the most backwards blade. I got it right here. This thing is not only forward. Check it. Ooh, this blade, it ain't normal. Why is it sharp on both sides?
Why is it like that?
Apple time, boy. Reverse slice. Oh yeah.
Tyler, what is the most backwards sword that we have in the entire house?
Dude, easy, I know exactly. This right here, it looks like a normal sword.
It is a normal sword, look at it.
But when you unsheath it, prepare for something dangerous because the blade is not where you think it is. Dude, the front of it, I cannot get over. Look at how wrong that looks. You gotta be careful because when you resheath it, you know, you wanna, there you go.
That is the most scary thing I've ever seen.
But I do have an actually legitimate question. When you display this thing, you don't want to put it blade down, but you also don't want to display it like that on the rack of all your other swords.
Wait, hang on, this isn't released, is it?
Wait, no, it's not.
Oh God, the cops!
Can our invisible katana actually slice? That's right, after months and months of sleepless, non-stop research and development, we finally managed to create this invisible katana. And today, I'm gonna see how well it can actually slice. But first, let's take a look at that dazzling translucent suba, the giga non-existent sight, and oh my goodness, we call this bad boy the opacity zero blade. Oi, yo, 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 that's something I'd subscribe to see. You better check the description before it sells out. But how well can it actually slice? Let's find out.
Does the invisible katana actually slice? You see, unlike Kelly and Tyler, I don't live in the Mini Katana house. I haven't seen the invisible katana, and no matter how many times they tell me it's real, how am I supposed to believe them when Kelly won't drink his milk? I mean, we passed 5 million subscribers ages ago. So instead of trusting the boys, I decided to build my own and put it to the test. And I mean, let me tell you, I spent months crafting, testing, pouring blood, sweat, and tears into this invisible katana, only to learn that yes, it is real and you won't be able to find this version anywhere else. But does it actually slice? Let's find out.
You think our invisible katana is just a green screen katana? Okay, well, I guess this green screen katana does slice, but so does our invisible katana. Ready? I'm gonna slice it twice. 3, 2, 1. This is how we make our invisible katana videos. Now, many of you think that it's not real, but it's literally on our website through the link in our bio. So the way it works is I pretend to slice with my invisible katana while Green Screen Man splits my target in half. And after it's all put together, it ends up looking a little bit something like this. Pretty much.
We have a problem, I think. This sword looks like it doesn't have a blade, but it does. See, after creating a fully invisible katana, we ran into a pretty big issue. Have you guys seen the invisible katana anywhere? Nah. I'd honestly be more impressed if you said yes to seeing an invisible katana. It's lost again.
I think it's actually in this closet. Kelly found
To get around this problem, I've created a solution. The blade's still there, but it's just invisible, and I kind of want to see if it can actually slice. And literally the second I went outside to film that portion of the video, it started raining. It would start raining the second I decided to start recording this. This is ridiculous. So subscribe for part 2 when I actually do it.
In part 1, I asked the question, if I sharpened our dull Yoru replica, would it actually slice? The tricky part is that although the blade is full tang, the steel it's made of isn't built for impact. So if it was gonna slice anything, it would have to glide through in one motion. If it caught on our tatami mat at all, we ran the risk of the blade snapping in half at the handle and pulverizing our skeleton. But after hours of going back and forth on our sharpener, and after you subscribed, the Yoru was ready to slice. So I lined up the blade, aimed, and...
Slicing with the targets get more cursed as time goes on. Level 1, normal target, normal katana. Up, to the side, and down. Level 2, long target, longer katana. Up, to the side, and... Level 3, visible sword versus invisible target. Let's do a little combo, let's go. Up, down. Level 4, invisible katana versus visible target. Oh! Level 5, on fire tatami target versus the sakabato. This is the final level, so if I hit this, you have to subscribe. This is a strange looking blade right here, so I just have to go across it, right? Seems easy enough. Let's go up, to the side, and it was not in fact easy.
Are anime sword fights realistic? Well, that's easy. The answer is yes, but also no. In shows like Samurai Champloo or Demon Slayer, the majority of characters are seen wielding their katanas correctly and striking with decent form. That is, until some of the boss battles come up. When the blades are being swung at the speed of light and characters are doing crazy acrobatics, that's when things start to get a bit out of hand. Actual samurai, for example, know that it should only take one clean strike to take down an enemy, so they are much more precise and tactical with their sword swings and bodily movements. Because if you're flailing your blade everywhere like they do in anime, then you likely won't have a very clean strike. The one exception to this rule is Zoro, whose four-sword style is unmatched.
There's been a lot of doubt recently about whether a sharp tengen is full tang or not, so today we're gonna find out. It's just too bad Tengen now has two swords, but only one.
Does a whittled spear pierce better than a stick with a pocket knife strapped to the end? One is very obviously sharper than the other, but I'm interested to see if that actually affects the ability of this stick to cut killing this watermelon. The first step was to sharpen my spear to a fine point. I'm using the brand new Tempest Damascus steel pocket knife, and it's a good thing that this blade is sharp because this took so long. But after a day of whittling, the first spear was ready to go. Now let's try to attach the blade of that pocket knife to the end of this spear. I can't just duct tape the whole pocket knife to the end of the stick, or it will catch when I try to Rengoku this watermelon. But after you hit that subscribe button, it finally hit me. I cut a slit in the end of the stick at about the same thickness as the blade. Then I took the blade of the pocket knife and glued it to the inside of the slit and filed the edges down to make it more aerodynamic. Here's what the first spear looked like, and here's what our engineering masterpiece looked like.
I'm burying my feet in this concrete so I can jump in a lake to prove to you that this sword will not last 100 days under concrete. When we left a sword in air for 100 days, it rusted through and became the tetanus katana. When we left the sword in water, it rusted through even more than the first. If I were to leave my feet in this concrete, when it dried, I would be stuck. That's what's about to happen to this sword. But it's not just that. As the concrete dried, it would suck all of the water and moisture away from my feet and into the concrete, leaving third-degree burns in their wake. It's said that if your body was fully buried in concrete, you could die from the burns well before any kind of suffocation would even have the chance to happen. Which is why it would be absolutely insane if I said,
Kelly, what is the smallest thing in our house that you can still slice?
These nuts! These nuts? No. Oh, right here. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah.
Garrett, smallest sliceable object.
Let me teleport you in.
Let's go.
Do it. Oh! This thing's gonna get got. It was designed to do that.
No way that works. Oh no. Yeah. All right, do it to him.
Oh dude, how are you gonna?
Can you sharpen one of our dull katanas? Well, you can do whatever you want with your katana because, well, it's your katana. We simply do not recommend it and simply say do not do it. So today, I'm gonna do it. You see, our dull katanas are built purely for display and cosplay. They are not structurally designed for cutting, as number one, they are not the right type of metal, and number two, they are not full tang. And with all that being said, I decided to make the executive decision to sharpen my dull katana and see if I can actually cut tatami mat. So after a dummy amount of sharpening, my dull sword was now sharp, and this tatami mat got me.
Today, I superheated this sword to see if it can cut through a 4-inch cylinder of solid ice. In a little-known movie series called Star Wars, the protagonist, Luke Skywalker, uses his lightsaber to slice through the ice, trapping his leg to the roof of a Wampa cave. So I started thinking, if I superheated a sword, would I be able to do the same? After checking to see if you were subscribed, I took my target out of the freezer and placed it gently on this tatami stand. After struggling for several hours to get the PVC pipe off of the ice, I took a blowtorch and heated this katana to almost 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
I have never seen a katana this warm before.
Then I lined up my shot and it didn't go through. So I decided to use the old ways.
Someone just broke into your home, but all your katanas are still boxed in their packaging. You don't have time to unbox them, so can a katana still wrapped in plastic slice? You see, when you adopt a katana, it will not only come in stunning packaging, but also all wrapped up and protected. The blade itself, wrapped in plastic. Not good for our situation, but our blades are sharp. Some of the sharpest blades you'll find anywhere. So to put this theory to the test, we're going to slice with our new Nodachi sword, made with 9260 steel, made for slicing. And we'll see when I wrap it up, will it still slice? 3, 2, 1.
What would happen if you high-five someone out the window of your car? And how much damage would it do to your arm? An average high-five is 4 miles per hour, so we're amping it up 10 times to high-five this samurai at 40 miles per hour. And of course, I'm not gonna use my own hand. I have a human hand replica that feels exactly like my own, and it even has bone. So we got up to 37 miles an hour and lined up towards our samurai. He's wearing armor, but it won't protect his hand at all. He subscribed, so he deserves a high-five, but our first attempt was just the tip, so we did it again, and this time I can't believe how much damage this hand did. Comment below if you would try it with your hand.
This 4-month-old milk is finally ready to drink. Smell it.
I'll carry the milk away. Your milk, sir.
Delightful.
No! This milk is not lethal enough! I command more, so I can fulfill my destiny and die! If I drink this milk, I may live, and that can't happen. I originally planned on slicing and drinking this milk after leaving it outside until we hit 3 million subscribers. However, that happened too fast, and I fear this milk is unfortunately not lethal enough. Now, in order to achieve my goal, I'll be leaving this rancid milk outside until we hit 4 million subscribers so I can drink it and die.
Our year-old milk is finally ready to drink.
It was just a dream. Peasant, prepare my milk. It was finally ready to drink.
Sir, there's been a burglary.
Find my milk at once.
Yes, Your Honor.
I must find my milk so I can drink it and die. Search the lands, lock down the quarters. If you desire a free soul and a buttload of my decadent candy. My milk! This milk is far too fresh. I must return at 15 million peasants after my coma so I can drink it and die.
Did you know that these glasses and this sword share one thing in common? Well, you're not supposed to use this blade to see better, and I'm pretty sure it's impossible to slice with these glasses. But there's something that I can do with my glasses and my sword that you're technically not supposed to do. See if you can spot it. I set up my target to slice. This time it's a watermelon. I grab my blade and unsheath it. After slicing, I instinctively grab the corner of my shirt and begin to wipe off the blade. It's just a lot faster than trying to find a microfiber to use. But you're actually doing more harm than good. Even though the shirt may seem soft and comfy, the fibers of the shirt can cause tiny abrasions. And over time, this can wear down your sword, glasses, and shirt.
5, 4, 3. Let's fix that neck pain. Yeah, I do hear that. And let's fix that torn cumulonimbus. Go ahead and think blue skies and rainbows for me. Can you feel this? How about this? It's gonna be okay. And all the pain's gonna go away. And you might have a slight tingle. A little stiff here. Tell me, what's your favorite color?
If you can slice this candy with the world's biggest sword, you get to keep it.
I bet I can do it.
Oh my god, this is actually heavy. Can you teach me how can I hold it properly? Like this? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, give me the candy. I need to put somewhere I can slice it. Candy is going down. Hope I don't destroy my paddle.
Do you think you can slice it?
Yes, girl power. I hope you have interest. I'm not sure how accurate my slice is gonna be. Let's go.
Oh, did you break your paddle?
Run.
Wait, you're supposed to keep the candy.
5, 4, 3. Let me fix that torn cumulonimbus. Now it's time to make all the pain disappear. And let me fix that accelerator disc for you. All better? And let me just readjust this for you. Yeah, that is cybermeiosis. I gotta hand it to you. Those nails look good. And cyber guillotine. Let me give you a little more clearance down there. Can you feel this? How about this? Yeah, something's really off with that umbilical cord. If only you subscribed, you wouldn't have become a fossil. These are the world's most uncuttable gloves, and today I'm gonna try to cut them. These gloves are known around the world for being indestructible. So let's put them to the test against our weakest tools all the way to our most deadly tools. But first, before I slice off all my fingers, I'm gonna use hot dogs instead of my hand. First up for level 1, our katana keychain. I tried everything I could to cut through these gloves, but it just didn't work.
The glove looks brand new.
Now let's try hunk, a real sharp Japanese samurai sword. I'll save the full swing for last. And for now, mashing down on the gloves with all my weight really did nothing at all.
Still in perfect condition.
So let's whip out the chopper, which crazy enough also was a complete failure.
How is there no damage?
I thought by now at least one of my methods would take down this dumb glove, but nope, only the majestic slash of hunk, our samurai sword, could take down these gloves.
Here are 5 ways to ruin a katana. Number 1, displaying your katana with the blade exposed. It's not just dangerous, but it exposes your blade contaminated the elements, leading to dust and rust, the enemies of the metal katana. Number 2, not properly cleaning your katana, especially after using it to cut things. Your watermelon residue can eat through your blade over time. Number 3, trying to cut solid objects. Just because Tanjiro can do it doesn't mean that you can. Number 4, when you sheath your katana blade down, over time this will dull the blade, or even worse, chop your saya in half. Number 5, having no katana friends for your katana to spend time with will ruin its social life, so be sure to get as many as possible.
Here are the top 5 ways that we've obliterated our katana. Starting off at number 5, we have this goofy fella. This was formerly a dull sword, but with a little engineering, we made it capable of slicing pretty much anything, and then we made it into a balloon head. Coming in at number 4, we have our katana ice skates, and while I wouldn't recommend skating on them,
Not good for spinning.
they do make a great art piece. Starting off the top 3, we have our tetanus katana. We left this thing outside for 100 days, and this is what we were left with. And at number 2, we have this katana that we sliced with another katana. It took such a long time, but I think the results speak for themselves. And finally, the number 1 sword is one that I wouldn't say we've ruined so much as upgraded. So to round out this list, we have our razor sharp, double-sided gold katana.
3D sword versus real sword. Who will win?
Best 2 out of 3. For level 1, we're doing a sharpness test. Now the lower the number, the sharper it is. The longsword scores a solid 500. And now for a 3D printed sword. 3D printed sword scored a 2,300. Longsword takes the cake. Level 2 portability. Now this longsword is absolutely massive. However, this 3D printed sword, you could absolutely sneak into a bank. 3D printed sword wins this one. All right, for level 3, we're sacrificing my last glizzy. The longsword should take this glizzy no problem. Huzzah! Longsword performed well. And now it's time to see what this 3D printed sword can do. Expelliarmus.
There's a very easy way to turn this into the deadliest sword in the entire house. See, most of these swords have a giga-sharp carbon steel blade, which in most situations is preferable to a sword with no blade. But you're looking at this all wrong. Do you see what I see? Are you looking at this sword hard enough? No? Well then allow me to demonstrate. Oh no, a home invader, whatever shall I do? I'll tell you what you're gonna do. Usually you would take one of these swords and just like, you know, have fun with the criminal. But there is a better option, and I'm gonna show you right now. Here's where this comes into play, okay? You're holding it all wrong. Before I show you this, quick disclaimer, do not hit people with the Meliodas Dragon hand. Very simply, you're just going to hold it backwards and...
We attempted slicing an arrow in half with a sword. In part 1, we were able to slice an arrow halfway down the middle, but with a bow that only has 15 pounds of pressure. But I wanted to slice an arrow clean in half, so today we're gonna do that again with a bow at 50 pounds of pressure. That's over 3 times more powerful. Now, this is no easy task, so let's get some practice in, since I'll have to successfully hit a target that's no thicker than a pen. Oh my goodness! Now that I have fine-tuned my skills, let's try this with a sword. And even with practice, this still took a goofy number of tries. However, I'd much rather do this with the rest of my life than waste my time watching one piece. And with that being said, finally, against all odds, I managed to do this.
Can I guess your favorite anime based on your favorite sword? If you choose the hidden dagger katana, you must have a need for that hidden dagger. And if that's the case, you're probably planning to throw it like a kunai, which is why your favorite anime must be Naruto. If you chose the Arashi katana, I know that even though you try to hide how special you are, the second that someone takes a closer look, it becomes so obvious, which is why your favorite anime must be The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. This was the first sword I ever made videos with, the Moya katana. And my first joke with it was that it looked like something that a GTA Yakuza would use. Speaking of Yakuza, if you're like me, your favorite anime must be The Way of the House Husband.
Peter, what is one thing nobody should do with a katana?
Check this out. I know so many people who have sliced their fingers off by not doing this. The most dangerous thing that you can do with your sword is pick it up like this. It doesn't look too bad, right? But if you tilt the side down even a little bit, that's you, dead. If you don't, put your thumb around the suba. Nothing can kill me.
Kelly, what is one thing you should not do with a katana?
You should not do is get it wet and then not clean it. For example, this dirty girl was not properly cleaned, and now it is absolutely toxic, deadly. I mean, even Oppenheimer wishes he was as deadly. So unless you want to ruin your sword, make sure you clean it every time you use it.
Give me all your money!
You want it? Go get it! And now that he's occupied with that, we have the unique experience of being able to walk away from this like nothing happened.
Give me all your money!
Okay, just one sec. There's something behind your ear.
What the? Stop it! Give me the... Give me all your money!
Yeah, sure, one sec.
What are you doing?
I'm taking my IDs out.
Can you hurry up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have somewhere to be right now? Are you late for work? Is your boss gonna be mad at you? Be patient. Inconsiderate.
What happens when you put smoke underwater? And better yet, can it dye this sword, this Lego man, and these Crocs?
And immediately you can see red bubbles shooting everywhere, and this was absolutely beautiful, but I had no idea if the water was gonna drown out the smoke, and somehow it looks like it had no effect because the red bubbles just kept coming. So I left it there for over 20 minutes and it made a big red mess. I lifted the lid to see how it looked and it looked crazy, but I decided to add even more red smoke. And after an entire hour, the smoke finally settled, and this is what it looked like.
Before I take this off, subscribe so that I can feed my pet cat Mochi. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It is absolutely crazy that this sword, this Lego man, and these Crocs turned from this into this.
I'm up, Robin.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Oh God, that is awful.
All right, ready? Hi. Oh my gosh.
This may be the most dangerous video I've ever made. I tried to figure out which of these swords has the best backhanded slice, but I got a little bit carried away towards the end. I started off smoothly with the Mini Katana. Simple, not too dangerous. The full-size katana went similarly well. I didn't notice then, but something was off. I kept going though. Using the Tengen went perfectly, and then it was time for one of the stranger swords. The Obanai went beautifully, because I mean, look at this. This is the pinnacle of sword design. The Tawar, however, this was a sword that I had to handle with a little bit of caution.
This thing could slice through atoms.
I could definitely tell by this point what the problem was, but I had to continue.
Let's try out the longsword.
It was starting to become a real problem. I didn't know how much longer I could take. I had to try and finish the job.
That thing just shot into space. All right, so that was the longsword. Now to try out the long sword.
I was hurting, and if I couldn't slice through this, my wrist would give out.
3, 2, 1. Oh, my wrist.
Hey Siri, pick a number 1 through 4.
A random number from 1 through 4 is 4.
4 it is. Start with the pocket knife. Not even a little. Hey Siri, pick a number 1 through 3.
I choose 2.
Okay, bold. Now let's go for the opposite side of the spectrum, the katana. I mean, like it wasn't even there. Hey Siri, pick a number 1 or 2.
I choose 2.
2. This one's gonna be easy. I'm pretty sure I actually sharpened this thing. Whoa! That felt so nice, and the ding was surprisingly loud. That leaves number 1. I have no idea if this is gonna slice or not.
Please excuse me as I give myself an ounce of serotonin.
So you're walking down the street and you get impaled with a katana. What do? I mean, it's probably your first time. Do I pull it out? No! What are you doing? Now you're RIP, you fool! Tip number 2, let's learn from our mistakes. Like, okay, you got stabbed, but it went all the way through, so it's plugged. Medics won't arrive for some time, so we have to try and patch it. Now, good news, the first patch should be easy because we can push with it. See, look at that, all done. But the second patch, there's gonna be some leakage, but hey, that's a good thing in certain places, if you know what I mean.
How is it the katanas are made of something so strong, but so weak? There's a fatal flaw behind this blade that you might not even know about. Carbon steel as a material is incredibly strong, but also light, making it the perfect material for something like a katana. In fact, the more carbon you add to the steel, the harder it will become. The spine of the blade is meant to bear the brunt of the impact while slicing, while the edge is meant to remain sharp after multiple cutting. Because of this, the spine is a softer steel than the edge, which is a good thing. It makes sure the blade doesn't shatter every impact. The issue is that for as strong and durable as it is, carbon steel is prone to rusting. So, if you don't regularly clean your katana, apply new blade oil, and hit that subscribe button, your sword could end up looking like this.
Peter, I'll give you a juicy foot massage if you can slice me a burrito melon with this goofy sword. Can you do it?
Absolutely.
Oh. 1 melon acquired. Oh, ain't no way you can do it. Come on, boy. Oh, so close.
Hang on, I want to try.
Let's go!
Everybody loves Sokka's meteor sword, but Sokka's meteor sword contains a deadly secret. You see, since Avatar The Last Airbender, everyone and their mama has been forging swords out of meteors. I mean, who doesn't want a space sword to put on display? However, there's something you need to know about meteoric swords. You see, throughout history, meteoric swords were stronger and more durable than those made of late bronze and early iron. Some are even rust resistant. However, if you look at their strength and durability compared to swords made in the modern era, if you were to take one into battle, you end up exactly where the meteor came from, just floating through the universe.
If there was a mosquito in the house, which katana would you use to kill it?
Okay.
He's got something.
The meliotators! Look at that daggum surface area.
Ain't no way you missed it.
What sword would you use to kill a mosquito?
Follow me. Dude, if this thing can take out demons, it can take out a mosquito. This thing has no chance whatsoever. It hits this thing, it dies instant. Hit him with one of that. Katanas have one very annoying flaw. They can only produce one slice per swing. That's lame. Today, let's fix that. First, I sharpened one of our dull katanas. The reason I'm doing this is because even though our dull swords, 1, aren't full tang, and 2, are only meant for display and cosplay, our sharp blades are literally made of dummy strong carbon steel. And I'm simply not meant to bend carbon steel. Now that the sword has been sharpened though, we're gonna try and bend it parallel to it. And here's our final product. This thing looks incredibly jank. So before I test this, quick disclaimer. Do not do this at home. Here's what it looks like when I slice using a normal katana. And now let's test our big bendy boy.
Oh, what?
This chocolate never melts. If I put it on this flaming stove, absolutely nothing happens. For comparison, here's some normal chocolate in the same skillet. Now, even though this is normal milk chocolate, the flaky shapes makes it so that the inside never melts. Even when being directly blowtorched, nothing can happen to this chocolate. But what happens when you boil it? After bringing this pot to boil, I put the chocolate in and it instantly melted. But unless you put it in boiling water,
itty bitty, small, tiny, little, average,
Kelly, pull 6 inches. 6 inches, get it accurate.
Right.
Right there.
Peter, pull 6 inches. Like you're not gonna be able to see it. You gotta tell me how much 6 inches is. Is that it?
Is that it?
Are you locking it in?
I'm locking it in. Oh, no way!
Not bad, not bad.
Tyler, you pull 6 inches.
Oh, right, bet, right here?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
What? Right there. That's right there, 6 inches. And now I'm gonna do a 6-inch slice.
Do it.
This banana.
Do it to him. Hit it. Oh, gosh. Oh! This is what happens when you don't subscribe. This random stranger just knocked on our front door, so I'm gonna let him choose any sword he wants to slice with.
This one.
Oh, okay, that's actually an insane choice. He walked in and got straight to the point. How did you know that was there?
How did I know this was here?
Yeah.
I live here. Oh my god!
His nose fell off. But
why does it look so realistic? This is so freaky.
that's Greg. We're gonna go outside and slice this thing.
All right, boys. I've never seen a sword in my life.
Do you know what a katana is?
What's a katana?
Whoa. Okay, before you slice, are you subscribed to Mini Katana?
What's a mini katana?
What? What are you, from outer space?
First time ever slicing anything.
Gone. You made this man speechless.
Here are the top 3 worst Halloween costumes to pair with a sword. Number 3, using a sharp sword with any costume. Whether you want to be a samurai or a knight or anything else, use a dull sword so you don't hurt anybody or get the cops called on you. Number 2, a ninja. Let's be real, since you were 5 years old, you wanted to dress up as a sneaky little ninja. It's just too basic. Find something more unique. And number 1, honestly, the worst costume ever is one that doesn't have a sword, because they can look great with anything, and I mean anything. Here are the top 3 worst places to store your katana. Now, this Japanese sword is a piece of art, and it is very important to store it properly and in a safe location. Number 3, your bed frame. It may be nice to protect yourself from danger in case of a burglary, but if you move at all, it'll bonk you on the head, and that'll be the last time you rock the bed. Number 2, the bathroom. This may seem helpful if somebody walks in on you, and it's very useful for shaving. However, your blade could rust from the toilet splashes and the moisture from the shower. But the number 1 worst place to keep your katana is in literally any patch of grass, because then if you're a One Piece fan, you'll never be able to touch it.
Can a pool noodle slice through a katana? My friend brought a katana to a pool noodle fight, which had me thinking, why did he do that? But also, could I still beat him in a pool noodle fight? Well, today, I'm gonna test that out. The goal of a pool noodle fight is to tap the other person without getting tapped yourself. So, if he can slice through my pool noodle, the fragment that is sliced off will hit him. But if he can't slice through them, that means he's able to block my noodle, meaning he'll probably, unless like the pool noodle sliced through the katana. So, I've strapped this here katana to this tatami stand, and we're gonna see today if a pool noodle can slice through a katana. All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
It's a great video, you should check it out. I'll wait.